Today, we're going to be talking about Dr. Jonathan Reed and his encounter with the 1996 alien. In 1996, Dr. Jonathan Reed was walking his dog through the Cascade Mountains in Seattle, Washington, where he heard his dog Susie yelping, and he finds his dog fighting with this alien he described as being about 4.5 feet tall. Dr. Reed stated that the alien immediately shot the dog and vaporized it into dust. He then swung a tree branch at the alien and knocked it out. Just thinking logically, I'm sure the alien would have heard someone running through the woods yelling, "Susie!" and vaporized his ass too. Don't you think whatever weapon this was is probably faster than someone swinging a tree branch? So he knocks this alien out, and the alien is neutralized at this point. Dr. Reed is in a total panic and breathing hysterically. I'd probably be panicking too if I encountered and smashed an alien's brains out after turning my dog into dust. Now, he claims to have heard a buzzing, low-frequency sound, and he follows it a little further into the woods where he comes across a hovering craft. The video shows static interference, which would make sense because there's been talk about when someone is recording a UFO, their device's batteries drain almost instantly, or the video was unable to capture them because of frequency interference. Who really knows? The craft looks small, but he did say the alien was 4.5 feet tall, so maybe if the alien was leaned back in the craft is possible. Also, thinking back on what Bob Lazar previously stated, he said these crafts don't have chairs like we do. He said there's 3 small pods or some type of support for their bodies that are attached to the craft. He described them as more like cradles. He also stated that the propulsion system in these crafts amplify gravitational fields and distort space and time. The craft projects its gravity amplifier straight down, generating a standing gravity wave that counteracts Earth's gravity, which would allow it to hover and sit motionless in the air. That would explain why what we see in that video is the craft just levitating. The craft looks like its color is Vanta black. Now, I know this color was invented in 2014, but aren't they light years ahead of us anyway? Knowing that Vanta black absorbs 99% of light, it would make sense that the crafts are this color to avoid detection at night, as opposed to the metallic look we always hear about. Metal would create a reflection from a light source, and Vanta black would look more like a flat void and can easily get away with soaring through our skies at night. So let's just say that colorway them aliens chose was a smart choice. I don't know about you, but if I'm in some hood and I know it's dangerous, I ain't going alone. So where was that alien's backup? Were they still in the craft scared to come out? Or was this alien really alone? I know if it was me, I would have went closer to that craft and even tried to get in. I would have went as far as hijacking that thing. It's not every day we see a craft in the middle of the woods. I would have brought it back to the block like I know nobody got this. Let's say there was another alien or two still in the craft. Why would they let him literally drag that alien into the back of his car? Dr. Reed would not have walked out of this one alive if his buddies came out blazing. It would have been ashes for him and his dog. So now he has this alien in his car and he brings it back into his home. He wraps the alien in a thermal blanket and tosses it into his freezer that's conveniently large enough to fit a body. I don't know anything about that. I'm from Brooklyn. We don't have space in our freezers that big. And how he fell asleep after all that is also crazy to me. I mean, if I had an alien in my freezer, I wouldn't be sleeping at all. To be honest, I wouldn't have even brought that thing into my house. So the next day, he inspects this alien after removing the thermal blanket. Makes sense that the alien didn't freeze though because of the thermal blanket. But now let's talk about what we saw when he did remove it. The alien was blinking, but he kept indicating that it was dead. So I don't know if aliens blink when they die or what. It was also making gurgling sounds when he moved it around. So according to what we see in here, that alien was still alive. This alien also checks every single box when it comes to how it looks and what it wears. The big black eyes, the small lipless mouth, the cavity nostrils, and the all black romper. I have to say though, the limbs look super fake. If there's anything in that video that screams hoax, it's gotta be the way that alien just laid there like the arms and legs were stuffed with clothes. That just looked unreal to me. How those things stand up right with legs like that, I don't know. How they're able to grip an incinerating ray gun and aim with those noodle arms, I also don't know. Let's move on. Now, the biggest question that'll validate this whole thing is, where's the body? Before we discuss that, we have to mention that this video we see is a copy of the original, because somewhere between taping this homemade autopsy and where the body went, Dr. Reed had the time to get this video off to a friend. In 1996, you'd have to connect a VCR to another VCR and play everything back to copy the VHS, then take that copy and bring it to the post office, wait on that long ass line, then send it through the mail just to get it to someone. Or maybe he was lucky enough to have a trusted friend close by just to hand it off. But then I ask, why would he give him the original? So he slept with an alien in his freezer, then left the alien in his house to drop a copy of the video off to a friend. And I'm sure his friend wanted an explanation, so he must have told him, chill, it's just a dead alien in my living room. So back to where the body went. One version stated that the body disappeared overnight out the freezer. But that can't be, because then we wouldn't have the video, right? The other is that the men in black came and jacked everything. The latter's got to be a little bit more believable. They must have forgot to hit Dr. Reed with that memory eraser, because he was talking about his encounter everywhere. He ended up on radio shows, interviews, and UFO paranormal programs that aired on live TV. This is exactly what made his story, Alien in the Freezer, so popular. I'm not here to say whether or not I think this is true, but I had more eye rolls than I can count. I don't plan on revisiting this story, so I want to mention one last thing. He found this silver bracelet that had 3 needles that would penetrate his skin and make him invisible. So when he researched the site where he first encountered and knocked out this alien at, that's where he found it at. In my opinion, that discovery would be way more interesting than just the body itself. There's footage of him putting this bracelet on, groaning in pain, and then he disappears into some floating orb in front of a live audience. Then he reappears. The video also had the same static interference from when he got close to the UFOs he encountered in the woods. What I want to know is, where's that bracelet at? I know a few times and a few places I could have used that at. So what do you think? Is this a real encounter or a well thought out hoax? Grimy ghouls, we out.